So we're just sitting there going, something doesn't make sense. This guy's full of shit. But he got a meeting with A&E. You got to go to A&E.
Yeah, that was the sticking point with us, is the fact that, all right, there is a meeting, though, with A&E.
Remember,
there is a channel.
Remember, by the way.
It is a channel. I have passed by it.
Remember, by the way, when we were on commercial radio, we took many meetings with Telepictures. Key to this story coming up. So we leave the office finally to go over to A&E. And waiting outside for Anthony and I is a limo because they're treating us like stars today.
It's the limo. That's short for limousine.
That's
people.
right. Limousine. You hear that, Derek? Limousine.
That's right.
Only the best for the boys. So we go downstairs, right? There's a driver that just doesn't want to be there. He's like in between, driving kids around, to proms and stuff. This guy is just like a low level limousine guy.
But it's a limo.
It's a limo, and that's fine. I'm not trying to trash the people out there, but if this guy's like trying to treat us like rock stars, there's you could go up many levels even in a limousine.
It's a dirty cummerbund.
yeah. Oh yeah, he's got like a little
dried out corsage.
I love when you see all those whores standing like through the sunroof going,
yeah.
Woo! I always want to see them like rear end the car in front of them, just
chop them in half.
Because they're always trying to come off like that's actually their car.
Right.
Because that's how
Waving
like
to
Bill
everybody.
Gates and them act when they're in a limo. Bill
When
Gates
they're going
just
to a
stands
big
through
meeting somewhere, hanging out the sunroof of his limo. Yes.
So the guy has a flask in the front seat in between jobs.
I drive people everywhere.
But hey, they're treating us right.
Yeah.
They're treating us right. They ordered the limo to make us feel good as we go over to A&E.
Yeah, we get in.
So we get in, 7 or 8 of us in a limousine that fits maybe 3 people comfortably.
Oh, it's not a super stretch.
No, it's
where you can actually fit 7 people.
It's a stretch Dodge Omni.
It's
and
a Ford Taurus. It was 2 seats facing each other.
Right.
Which is that type of limo that is the smallest kind of limo.
Our knees were
It's
pretty
good
much
for 4 people, that type of limo. If you got 4 people and want a limo, that's the one you get.
And there was, I think, 7 people.
7 people.
Yeah, I was across from Anthony. Our knees were touching. And then I'm like, oh, Jesus. And I pulled the door closed, and the handle falls off.
The handle comes off in Opie's hand.
I'm like,
I think I took this limo.
I'm like, holy
It was so
shit.
funny. We just looked at each other like, okay, this is great.
Dirty butterscotch interior.
Right. The whole way over, the guy's getting pumped because it's showtime, and he's like, "Are you guys pumped? Are you guys ready?" And we're just playing this out at this point to get.
Telly Savalas used to use this limo when he used to go over to the set on Kojak.
Right.
It's a Delta 88 stretch.
We're on 2 levels at this point. This guy's getting pumped for the meeting, and Anthony and I are just going through it because we know it'll make for good radio today. That's all.
Yeah. And
at this point, I know this is going to just be a disaster.
And we are headed over to A&E.
A&E.
I am what they call, I am an optimist. I am not a bridge burner by no means. I like playing things out to see where they're going to go. And if you're going to make some relationships in this business that we call show, Opie, I like to do it with a smile and good spirits.
You're professional.
So when we meet people at A&E or Telepictures or anything, regardless of who is taking us there or the mood we're in, they will get a smile, a greeting, and some humorous anecdotes
They call
from
me
this
the
person.
optimist. I'm the optimist. Hey,
Beaner.
And A&E doing some fine things on TV lately. So we did the security thing already earlier, and we go upstairs. And we meet the people that we have to now pitch this horse shit to.
And again, as always, they're always very nice, very cordial.
Yeah,
nice people that you meet at these things.
I believe it was Nancy, right?
Yeah.
Rob?
Yeah.
And a guy named Michael.
Michael
from Telepictures.
Michael was working at Telepictures during our meetings over there.
Who is a huge fan of the Opie and Anthony
Great
program.
guy, huge fan of the show.
He was
understands us, what we do.
He was the one that dragged us into Telepictures for a bunch of meetings as they try to figure out a TV show for us. He has since left Telepictures about a year ago, now works for A&E. That's the reason we were meeting with A&E, not because of this idea.
Not because of the idea or the guy.
Because we couldn't figure out why, because something didn't match up. It was Michael who heard about this pitch that had Opie and Anthony as a host, and he goes, Opie and Anthony, holy crap, these guys are really talented, and we've been trying to figure out something for them for years at Telepictures. We should at least meet with them.
Yeah, at least meet with them. So we walk into that huge generic conference room thing.
Did they have like those precinct desks that are made out of nothing but metal?
This was all we saw was the conference room. It was the big wooden table with those little conference call things in the middle and a lot of chairs. The little screen up on the wall for the PowerPoint presentation things, and your basic conference room. Glass wall out to the hallway, so make sure no shenanigans are happening there if you're the brass. And we sit down, and the first thing I notice is the woman, Nancy.
Yeah.
She's in charge.
Oh, yeah.
She's the one running this show.
She's the one you got to impress.
She's the one that has to be impressed. And she's sitting there, and the first little inkling I got that there was a problem was the fact that she looked at one of the other guys, I'm not sure which one, and said, well, I haven't read anything or heard anything about this. Rob hasn't told me anything about the pitch yet. Which led me to believe, I was thinking to myself now, if Rob was excited about this, wouldn't he have gone to the one that was really in charge and said, we're meeting with these people today, here's what they're pitching, here's the show, it's a great idea, blah, blah, blah. She went into this ice cold, had no inkling what this show was going to be about.
And I gulped, Anthony gulped, and, the production company we were with there, who claimed that we were so close to a TV deal, it wasn't even funny, they pretty much just had to meet us.
But the head woman there
doesn't even
didn't
know
have a
about
clue
this pitch.
What this was about. So now the pitch starts, and all we needed was Opie's instant replay because he has the cricket ones on because that is exactly what happened. He goes with the pitch.
The main guy on our side.
And there's the pitch.
It was kind of like that Seinfeld George thing.
I absolutely felt like I was in that fucking episode of Seinfeld. They sit down in front of the NBC.
Yeah.
And George, all proud, goes, "It's a show about nothing." And the guy running the network is like, "What? Nothing? Well, it's got to be about something." And George just sits back all confident. "Nope. Nothing. Nothing." And Jerry's all nervous.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, it's about something. No, it's not. It's a show about nothing."
So,
and everyone's just flabbergasted in the room and cannot believe that these words are coming out of this guy's mouth. And I was sitting right there in the middle of it.
We lived it. So this guy, he goes, all right, the show. It's Opie and Anthony hosting a show. It's MythBusters meets Jackass.
There's the big pitch.
Oh. Dead silence. And Nancy goes, I wouldn't use the word Jackass whatsoever. Yeah. You know how many lawsuits are pending because of that show?
Yeah, that's probably not a good selling point.
So she's taking the legs out from underneath one of her own guys?
No, this is the
guy that we were with, the production guy.
Oh, I get it.
No, he's now finally pitching A&E.
Yeah.
The A&E, those three guys are sitting at the head of the table.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, it's MythBusters meets Jackass. And she's like, I wouldn't use the word Jackass whatsoever. There's so many lawsuits pending. That show has been a complete disaster.
Yeah.
And
we have two shows, and the A&E people are like, we have two shows that are all done, ready to air, that we can't air because of lawsuits, because there's too many similarities with the Jackass
And our show
concept.
is a very dangerous version of MythBusters, let's be honest here. You know, he's talking about, like, taking a car, going 55 miles an hour and then slamming it into reverse to see what happens. All sorts of stuff that...
I didn't know there were myths about that. Isn't it more like...
Stuff like that where kids would probably try to do this at home. So now we have no pitch whatsoever. Our whole pitch has been destroyed less than 30 seconds into it.
She had just wiped it out. She took a huge sword and just hacked his legs off, and he fell down.
No, but
we are sitting there.
Nothing to say.
Hold on, he didn't fall down then. The bozo's not getting it at this point. He's not getting it. He goes, but Jackass was the hottest show on TV, and it made a movie.
Ixnay on the ass yay.
He goes, I'm 47. I still rent the movie with my friends and still laugh. It just continues to make. He's like this with his hands. Continues
and
to
we're
make
like,
money.
oh no, he's still going. Oh no, he's still going. Me and Opie.
And are they occasionally glancing over at the two of you like you?
Oh yeah. Well,
that
we got the glance through the whole thing, and the most horrific glance I got was when she goes, all right, so now they're just playing it out because we can't leave after a minute.
Right.
That's embarrassing for everybody.
And unlike us, they're polite and nice.
Yeah.
Like when we're in these situations with our radio show, we're like, well, you get the fuck out of here.
Just leave.
You have no business being in here.
So
we had
after a
no
minute-
business being in that room. But they're nice people, so they're like going to at least play with us a little bit.